sure. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Eric from Easy Computer Solutions, and this is Wednesday Night Tech Talk. I got a live guest here. Like I always promise you guys, we work very hard behind the scenes to try to get y'all guys some YouTubers and some fans to come on here live. I want to say what's up to everybody that's, see, that's me. Hang on a second. Let me make sure I pause myself so I'm getting feedback. See, I'm the one who say don't have it on the background, and I got myself playing in the background. So that's how it is when you do these live streams. All right, I got two special guests on here. Gentlemen, we're gonna go and let you guys introduce yourselves.
All right, I guess I'll go first. My name is Antoine Richardson. My channel is Just Doing Life. It was formerly Just Doing Reviews as of a few days ago, but the channel is basically it's pretty much what it says. It's Just Doing Life and Just Doing Reviews. I will review anything from a phone to a smartwatch to a tool shed. So that's what we do, man. We do it all.
That's it. It's always good to have an open YouTube channel that you could just talk about, you know, having open the tech or whatever in between. And that's good to have a variety of tech toys that you can always talk about.
Yeah.
All right. Who we got up here?
My name is New Jersey Cat. I run a channel called QC Dads, and pretty much the channel revolves around parents and particularly fathers in terms of technology and how you can use technology to, you know, control the quality of your life and your family's life as well. So I'm happy to be here, and thanks for inviting me, Eric.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. I tell you what, you know, one of the things that I wanted to do on this YouTube channel is to try to have special guests on here, so you know we can all have some fun. One of the things that I wanted to do as a tech reviewer is to kind of have the floor open. You know, one of the things that I found when I first started doing YouTube is that nobody, you know, you try to do collaborations with people and everybody kind of give you the middle finger, like they don't want to collab with you. And I don't want to be that person. I say, you know what, one day if I ever get a little big, right, not huge, but a little big, I want to help out the up and coming YouTubers, to put them out there. You know, why not share the wealth? I mean, we got so many people in this world that love tech and stuff like that. But sometimes, you know, everybody always flock to the big boys. But what about the little boy? You know, what about the little YouTubers? We the one who talk about truth and justice, right? So, you know, no fluff, no passes. That's like my motto around here. If we're gonna get into it, let's go ahead and do roll call. I see y'all guys in the building. Shouts out to Kevin. Listen, a lot of things that happen on this YouTube channel is my man Kevin. He's the one that Easy Computer Solutions backbone right there is Kevin. So thumbs up to Kevin. He take care of business for Easy Computer Solutions. And oh yeah, he take care. He is the backbone of this YouTube channel, definitely. So Mark Teasley in the building. What's up with you? He's rocking that Note 8, guys. He just got it. So he's rocking the Note 8 right now. And shouts out to Doin in the building. And Tony is in the building. I see you. Zigmata. I always get that name screwed up every time I come on here. Philly Jazzy Jeff is in the building. He got the Note 8 for the win. We're going to talk about the Note 8 a little bit tonight also. Tech for your needs. Lewis is in the building. What's up with you, Lewis? I see you. All right. What's up with you? All right. So the hottest, biggest news. This is iPhone week, guys. Listen, first of all, if you haven't saw all the huge videos about the iPhone, I mean, God, I mean, everything about the iPhone, you already know. I did a live stream yesterday, and I'm going to give y'all guys some news about why you're not seeing that iPhone video on my YouTube channel. But everything about the iPhone, all right, fellas, what y'all think about this iPhone? iPhone 8, iPhone X, what's your opinion about this iPhone?
So here's my opinion. It's pretty much everything that Samsung has already offered. When it boils down to wireless charging, the OLED screen, it's pretty much everything. And even with this iPhone, you don't even get a fingerprint reader now. So but you got to believe the hype, you know, because, you know, Apple, they push numbers, and I can guarantee you people are going to pay $1,000 for this phone. Yeah. And, you know, it's all about marketing at the end of the day. It's all about marketing. and I think it's a Samsung with iOS. I don't know how to say it.
Wow.
Hey, that's
so
a good
think
hit,
about
man.
it? What you think about it?
Oh man, you know what? I really, man, you picked the wrong guy to talk about an iPhone because I don't like them. I'm not gonna get on here and bash iPhones, but so I saw the mock-ups and everything, and from the initial impression, I was like, it's pretty hideous. I've never really liked the design of them, you know, since the other Android phones had come out, because I didn't like the big forehead or the big chin. And now with the iPhone 10, you know, they got rid of that, but they still have that, you know, that cutout at the top. So it's just, I'm an OCD kind of guy, so it's messing with me, that cutout at the top. So as far as aesthetics, it's not like you know, they're talking about, what is it, edgeless display, or what did they call it?
It's called something.
They make up names, man.
Cyclops eyes, right?
Yeah, it's not what
ears. They call them ears.
It is. I mean, the Samsung, the S8, even the S7, man, they actually have displays that melt off the side of the phone for real. Like you see phone, and then you see what's in the background. With this iPhone, there's still bezel around there, so it's not a true bezel-less phone. First of all, then you got that cutout at the top. As far as removing the fingerprint reader, I feel like that was a big mistake, man. I mean, that's been a technology that's been out since what, 2000, probably 2013 or so, and it still ain't been perfected. That's why nobody else has removed the home button. They don't remove it for a reason. You know, I feel like it's all older technology where Apple has just kind of played in the back, saying, okay, it's okay to let these guys like Samsung and, you know, all the other manufacturers put all this stuff out here, but we just gonna play in the background and tweak it. We'll put our own little stamp on it. People gonna buy this stuff, man. It's gonna be good. Y'all wait, we got a hit on our hands. That's what I feel like we got with the iPhone, with the 10. But it's okay. I'm not gonna buy it, but I got stock in Apple, and I'm excited because because people are gonna buy that phone, and my stock's gonna shoot up.
Yeah, it is. And you know, one of the things that I could tell you is that I was excited when I saw WWDC. I mean, I was one of the ones when I was streaming it. I was like, yeah, WWDC. I felt the energy out of Apple. Apple came out there with the chest high and the wheels hanging, right? I mean, they had the grapefruits, right? In the WWDC, I was praising Apple for being there, taking care of business, augmented reality, VR, just kind of shut the game down, right? And here we get the iPhone 10. Now, don't get me wrong. All the leaks, all the rumors, we knew everything about this iPhone, right? I mean, Apple kind of really, I don't know. I mean, first of all, why send out the dummy units, right? That was one thing that I didn't understand. Second of all, it was no surprise. Where is the surprise? It was nothing. One of the things that I knew that I was like looking at this event, and I had hundreds of people on my live stream. We was all watching it. I was commentating it and all that stuff like that. And people was like, okay, we knew this already. We knew this already. Then when they spent all that long time talking about Face ID, I knew something was going on at that point. Face ID. What y'all think about this Face ID?
So, Eric, before we go to Face ID, do you think Apple leaked this information?
Yeah. You know what? I think Apple did this on purpose. I mean, look at Apple right now. I mean, Apple right now, you know, they're still selling tons of iPhones. Don't get me wrong, but they're not selling it like they used to sell. I mean, you got to think about they're selling 50, 60 million iPhones. They're not selling that anymore, right? So it was one of those things that I think Apple had to get it hyped up. I mean, after WWDC, I think they felt good going into the iPhone. But I think what happened was Samsung kind of disrupted everything a little bit, right? After WWDC, what did Samsung do? Galaxy S8, Galaxy S8 Plus price dropped like boom, right? All right, that was one thing. Then here we got the Galaxy Note 8. It came out. Now, technically, the Galaxy Note 8 does not release until the 15th, but people have been getting it 2 weeks ago. Samsung is on top of their game. They got the devices out to people early. So now the momentum going into the momentum going into the iPhone, right? It's kind of went down a little bit because Samsung beat them to the punch. But all the leaks, all the rumors, everything that we had about the iPhone, we already knew about everything about the iPhone. Okay, we knew everything about the iPhone, and then so at this point we get the keynote address. I mean, why call the iPhone 8 to 8 Plus. Why do that when it's supposed? I mean, is it such a large leap that they had to call it the iPhone 8? What y'all think about that? I didn't think that was warrant to be iPhone 8s, right? I mean,
yeah,
7.
So
it's
here,
more like 7S.
It's a 7S. Here's the thing: why buy the iPhone 8 Plus? I don't. Why would you even buy it? I mean, if
I
you
know
have
why you buy it.
7 Plus, because go ahead.
Well, if you were late to the game and you didn't get a 7 or a 7 Plus, the 8 Plus or the 8 or the 8 Plus makes sense, because you might not even want the 10, because, like I just said, I don't like it. So, you know, what if you don't like that design, or what if you really need that home button? You still have that option if you were late to the game getting a 7, but you can actually get it cheaper. I don't know. There's a market out there for somebody.
I think if you guys think back to the iPhone 5C, which was a big mistake by Apple, I think that the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus is also going to be a big mistake. I think you're going to see price drops. You're going to see BOGOs from the carriers. I don't think this device is going to sell. I think a lot of people are going to wait for that iPhone X, particularly those hardcore Apple users. They're going to wait for the iPhone X, and they're going to spend their $1,000 to get it. And it's really going to take some time for Apple to really figure out, okay, who's the target customer at this point. Even with the iPhone 5, iPhone SE, they're not really doing much with that one either. You know, so I think Samsung is really messing with Apple a lot, and they don't know exactly what to do. In the same sense, you know, if you look at Samsung, they got the S8, and then they got the S8 Plus, and then they come out with the Note 8, which is on the same line. It's similar. They're so similar in devices. You get the S Pen, but for the most part, the S8 Plus and the Note 8 are very, very similar. What are your thoughts on that, Eric?
Oh, now you get into my territory.
Yeah.
All right. So look, check this out, right? I am a Note user, right? I am a Galaxy Note user, and one of my things, and I make a lot of videos about the S Pen, a lot of videos about Note devices. Period. One of my things is that I say this a lot, that the Galaxy Note series of devices is a totally different class of devices. And I make plenty of videos dealing with DeX and dealing with the S Pen and the S Pen software. In my opinion, when you pull out this S Pen, and it becomes a totally different device at that point, because you have a lot of software that's intertwined with the hardware. And it's a lot of things that I can do on this device that I cannot do on a regular device. I say this a lot, that there are smartphones and there are the Galaxy Note. Now, when they talk about cameras and stuff like that, you know, yeah, you could compare the cameras, but when it comes down to the software, the usability of the Galaxy Note, it's in a class of its own. It's definitely in a class of its own. I've been using Note devices. I actually have the Galaxy Note 1. I got the Galaxy Note 1.
Oh, wow.
That's the OG.
All right. I got all the Galaxy Note series of devices. I made tons and tons of videos about it, and so people can see the difference between the Galaxy S devices versus the Galaxy Note devices. So every time I try to make videos about these devices, guys, I make videos detailing the difference between the Galaxy S series of devices and the Galaxy Note series of devices. So, but I can tell you, my experience using the Galaxy Note is a totally different experience, totally different class. I can do things on this device that I cannot do on the iPhone, that I cannot do on any other device but a Galaxy Note, because the power of the pen software, it is definitely in the class of its own, without a doubt.
Okay.
But that's how, I mean, look, it's subjective, because like I say, a lot of people that have, if you don't, here's the thing, I'm a business guy, so I use my device a lot for business. That's why I use DeX. I have a DeX here at the studio, and I have a DeX at my office. So I have DeX everywhere. So what I do is, and it's so funny, I made a video about this. I made a video because I do not use a PC at work. I use a smartphone at work. I make so much detailed videos on how my smartphone could do everything a PC can do. So if anybody in the stream never saw those videos, check out Easy Computer Solutions. I got detailed videos on how to use Windows 10 on the smartphone. Also how to use my Galaxy Note devices, how to replace a complete PC if you don't use exe programs, of course. But yes, I use my smartphone to replace my PC, and I do not use PCs at work. I use a smartphone and DeX. That's it.
Interesting.
Yes, yes.
Antoine, what's your daily driver?
I'm using an S7 Edge right now.
Okay.
I got caught up in that Note 7 mix, so I'm stuck with this bad boy for a little bit.
Yeah, let's not open that can.
Yeah, let's leave that alone.
So the S7 Edge, let me tell you something. S7 Edge is a beautiful device. Listen, guys, I got all the phones, by the way. So the S7 Edge is a beautiful device. And I'll tell you what, I remember when this phone came out in December, the color, the blue coral. Oh man, it came out in December and I had to have it. So yeah, I've got like 3 Galaxy S7s. And I had to get the color. I absolutely love this device, man.
Yeah, so the S7 when that came out, it was a game changer, particularly with the screen and everything. And you know, like I said before, Apple they're catching up. They're trying to play catch up now.
I think Apple's been on the catch up side for about a good 6-7 years at this point, though.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
I agree with you, because think about this. All right, and I talk about this a lot when it comes down to 2K displays and 4K displays, right? Think about this. We've been having 2K displays since what, 2014 at this point, right? I mean, come on. I look at it like this. Okay, 2K displays is out there. Now, Sony, for the second year in a row, they've put 4K displays in their devices. So for Apple to maybe going up to the 2K displays, I mean, they absolutely behind time. Don't get me wrong. The iPhone's display is beautiful. This beautiful. I'm not going to knock that the display is not beautiful. But at the end of the day, you're talking about $1,000. All right. The device, if you get it at 64 gigs, you're going to pay $1,000. And anything about it, I think that $1,000 is misconstrued, because it costs $9.99, and where I live at, I got to pay tax. So $9.99 to me is $1,100 bonus. I don't know where you live at, but $999 is $1,100 in my playbook.
Yes,
all right. So that's $1,100 for a 64 gig iPhone, right? So now when you're talking about
that's nuts.
11 and you not just buying the iPhone, you got to get a case, you got to get a screen protector. So you talk about another additional $100 on top of that $1,100, right? So you now at 1,200 big ones. Now that's not including if you want to get the 256 gigs, which I recommend, because Apple got the 4K at 60 frames per second.
Ooh, that's me.
Hey, you got to get it. Now you're at the $1,500 price point at this point.
You've opened up kind of a Pandora's box with this price point and what you get as far as like storage and stuff like that, because 64 gig is like the new 8 gig or 16 gig rather. You know, apps are bigger because, you know, we have, you know, they're just bigger. You know, you can't download an app that's less than 250, you know, megabytes no more. So, you know, just a few apps on your phone, a few pictures and videos. If it's shooting 4K, you're right. You're going to chew up that space real fast. So, and for them to jump from 64 to 256, there's nothing in between, and you just got to pay that pretty penny. I don't think that's fair. That's, you know, that's one of the reasons why I never could get down with Apple, because, you know, they keep you in that walled garden, man. And you gotta obey by the rules.
That's what they do. I don't want to continue with this Note iPhone thing, but, you know, if you think about it, you're getting so much of a less device when it comes to the Note. Some of the research I've done, the actual screen on the Note 8, I think about 1,200 nits, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, it was bright. Oh, it was bright. Oh yeah, you're right.
The iPhone 10 or X is about 600.
Very dim.
And but you know what? Apple gets on stage and they call it some super.
Super AMOLED, yeah.
Super Retina.
Yeah. Super Retina. There you go.
But you know what? People are going to eat that up, and you know, I can see the users. I got my new iPhone 10. I got the Super Retina display. You're thinking to yourself, man, the Super Retina. What the heck is that?
Oh man.
They just made that up.
You got that super. Look,
I don't know, but
wait a minute. I got that super retina display on this thing. Y'all gotta stop messing with Apple. Yo, Apple go come get you.
But here's the thing. I talked about marketing before. Samsung, they need to get their act together when it comes to marketing, because that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Apple, I will say they do have a cult. They have a following of people who will go to the grave with their iPhone almost, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And if Samsung can just, and I don't have the answer to it, if they can figure that out, I think they can overtake Apple. If you think about it, the iPhone 10 is using a Samsung screen. It's insane, but it's all about the marketing. And I know we've been talking about specs a lot, but on another note, no pun intended, it's all about the software as well. Yeah. And I like how Samsung has really cleaned up their operating system, and
yeah, oh yeah,
they really cleaned it up, and that's the direction they really need to go. Clean it up. You want to make the user interface as inviting as possible, because of course, Eric, you're going to buy a Note 8, but is my grandmother going to buy a Note 8? How do you get that target audience? And that's where Apple wins. They hit a lot of target demographics that Samsung just can't touch. And they've been trying to figure it out for years. If I recall, I think Samsung at one point, they even had like an easy mode on their devices to try to, persuade, users to come over. Hey, our devices are easy, but they need to do more to get different customers. And I feel like they just haven't done that yet. Apple doesn't even talk about specs, really. They don't talk about specs. They make up names of stuff, and people,
well, we got that super retina display. That's gonna be the best thing since sliced bread. And don't worry about that, because guess what? Don't worry about that Cyclops eye that we got right there, because guess what? We're gonna take 30,000 dots of your face.
Yeah.
We're gonna call it Face ID. So when you raise your phone up, they go take all the imprints of your face, right? And you're going to open your device. But we had a failed at the keynote address. Y'all saw that.
Oh, that was painful.
That was.
I tell you, Craig Federighi, he was like, oh my God.
That was painful. Then that face wipe he did.
Yeah, you said it. Oh my God. Hey, look, could you imagine the people in the back? Like, Tom, I was shining your shoes tonight. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry, man.
Did you guys notice? Did you guys notice after he messed up? I think he went back about 3 or 4 times just to say, "Hey, this works, guys. Please don't try me. Don't do it to me." So I think it's going to be an issue. I don't think out the box Face ID is going to be in terms of responsive compared to Touch ID. I think what they really wanted to do was that touch screen, the Touch ID under the screen, but it just wasn't ready. But
fully baked, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you guys a question. This before we get off this Apple subject. Apple usually sell 30, 40 million iPhones, right? Do you now with the iPhone that's coming out in November, right? I mean, that's the 4th quarter of the year. You really think that Apple is going to beat sales record by this iPhone coming out right in the middle of November, going into the holiday season? Maybe, but you really think that Apple will sell all these regular iPhone 8s until this iPhone X come out? Kind of get your own opinion. You think they're going to sell this stuff like that?
What do you think, Antoine?
You know what? I think Apple will beat out any other phone manufacturer.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't think Apple will beat itself.
Does
that make sense? Right. Apple will not break any Apple records, but Apple will continue to be ahead of the game as far as sales in the smartphone market. Right. Because that is just Apple. I mean, they basically set the standard. And to be honest with you, I feel like they're still riding on the success that they started between 2007 through maybe 2010 and 11. They're still riding on that foundation that they built, and that's why the sales are always so good against Apple. Yeah. Or I'm sorry, against other manufacturers, but I don't think they'll beat themselves.
Well, at least they go beat LG with the V30.
Yeah.
Oh man, LG, the V30 is such an underdog device, but I think. I mean, have you looked at the screen, Eric, of the V30?
Yeah, I've seen the V30, and I've seen a lot of some people put out some videos about it. Well, I think one person put out a video about the screen, and I mean, look, I don't get me wrong. As we get out of the subject of Apple, let's get into the LG V30 a little bit.
Okay.
I really do think at this point, when we talk about the LG V30, that LG made a mistake. They came out with their keynote address on like the 29th of last month, and the LG V30 is not coming out until October. It's too long, man. That's too long. It's like you got the Pixel coming out. You got the Note 8 is in people's hands right now.
Preach.
You got Apple, got the iPhone 8 is going to be in people's hands by the 22nd. Right? Isn't it going to be in stores like on the 22nd? At least the regular iPhone 8, right?
This is what Apple's going to do. They're going to hold back that inventory, right, to make people want it more. So this is what they do every year.
It's going to be on them shortages, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to we don't, but at the same time, people are going to want it more. And I think I agree with you. LG, they look, you can't compete with Samsung, LG. You can't compete with Apple. Don't get your own little timeline, because Motorola does that too. They won't release their phone until the smoke is clear from all the other releases that come out. So I think LG made a mistake, and unfortunately, I think people are going to go into their carrier store, look at a Samsung or look at an iPhone, and that's going to be it. No one's going to be talking about LG. So
right,
it sucks.
Yeah, you know what? They got to think about it like this: the Galaxy S8 Plus is $670. The Galaxy S8 is mid $500. The LG V30 will be $750. Think about that price point for a second. Would you pass up a Galaxy S8 Plus or a Galaxy S8, a possible other devices, a OnePlus 5 and all that other stuff, just to get an LG V30 at almost when I say $750, that's $850 to me. I always like to add extra $100 because of sales tax, right? So that's $850, right, for a V30. Would you buy a V30 where you could spend almost $200 less for a Galaxy S8 Plus?
Yeah, it's just not smart.
That's it. That's it right there. It's all about the price. It's all about the price. And if the V30, which is going to probably be heavily discounted when it come out, if they would have came out with a $699 or $650 price point, or $629 or $6 something, and I understand. I mean, they got to make money. I really do. But you're going against the heavy hitters. You're going against the heavy hitters. You can't make it at that point.
You know what? This is, I mean, I guess it's kind of off topic, but how do y'all feel about the tech market, particularly smartphones, but it's kind of linked into everything else as far as tech goes? Why does something new and innovative have to come out every year? There used to be this period where it's kind of like a 2-year time span where you could hold on to a device, enjoy it for about a year and a half, 2 years, and then, something new is coming out. But seriously, now you buy you got the Galaxy Note 8 right now in your hand, literally by probably December. They're going to be talking about the S8 or S9. I'm sorry. Right. Matter of fact, I've actually heard some stuff about the S9 already.
So
it's coming out early.
What you got to think about, it's a very competitive market, right? So everyone's trying to beat everyone out. But at the same time, you got to keep Wall Street happy. You got to keep your shareholders happy. You got to continue to, push that share price. And that's really boils down to. I forgot, maybe 2 years ago, I think Apple might have sold like 60 million iPhones, and Wall Street's like, oh no, they're going out of business. Like, no, they just didn't beat their numbers from last year. So, I mean, I think it really boils down to Wall Street. But I get what you're saying. I mean, the technology is not really moving that much from year to year, if you really think about it. If you look at the S7 versus the S8, I would probably go with a S7 for the cheaper price, because if they're just too similar in terms of what you get. And let's not talk. Well, I don't want to talk about Apple, but they don't really change much either. They put a glass back on it and call it an iPhone 8.
And that's kind of what I'm getting at, where it's everything has to move by 1 year increments. I don't think I don't think tech has the speed. You know, everybody kind of complained that the Note 8 was pretty much an S8 with a pen, or S8 Plus with a pen. And I'm not real upset about that. I kind of like that, you know, that whole thing right there. But on the same token, it's like, what more can we expect? I mean, they scan your eyeballs, they read your fingerprint. You know, we got augmented reality now. You got virtual reality. They have a lot of stuff. Like, what more can we really ask for? And at 1 year increments. Right.
And it's also just to kind of touch on your question, it's a social thing. It's a status thing as well. It's like, hey,
that's true.
Oh, you got a 7? Oh, you're not as cool as me because I got an 8. It's a status thing.
Okay.
That's what the boys
are they gonna be holding up? Are they gonna be holding up and saying, "I got an X. I got an X."
Exactly.
Put that thing down, man.
I got a 10. It's a status thing, you know.
Put that thing down.
You know. I got an X. Do you have an X? I got an X.
You're not cool like me.
Get out of here. I got an X. Look, think about this. The millennials alone will be like, wait a minute. Nah. You got a regular iPhone. I got the X. You don't have the X. You ain't
gonna be
cool.
competing against each other, yeah.
If you ain't got the X, you ain't cool.
Oh man. Yeah, but you know, in all fairness, you know, I don't think we should really be comparing the Galaxy Notes to any iPhone, to be honest with you. The Galaxy Note, that's a special market, man. That's for guys like us. You know, only guys like us like that phone.
Yeah, it's a status thing.
All right. I mean, go ahead. You want to finish it off?
Pretty much Samsung, iPhone. Those are the two, you know.
All right, so let's get into some news. All right. This heard some news today that finally, after all the debacle, 2.5 months of all this Andy Rubin crap, Sprint, starting tomorrow, is supposed to sell their Essential phone. Yay! About time!
Like, come on, Andy.
But will it sell? Come
on, you're the father of Android. Come on, man. And your camera still sucks. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think that thing is gonna sell, man.
Hey, guess what? But he got all that money from his investors. He's $1 billion man now. So guess what? He got to do something to sell his phone. I don't know what he got to do.
That's bad timing for that phone, man. Real bad. He's gonna get swallowed up.
Sprint? You want the Sprint? You gotta see. Look, exclusives. You gotta be done with that. That is over. That's so like 2007 when Apple did it. You got to hit all carriers or sell it. You know, I do like the fact they're selling on their website, but you got to hit all the carriers. You know, if you want a successful launch with a phone. And unfortunately, as much as I like the phone, I like the design, I like the titanium frame and all the different specs that it offers, but I think this phone is dead on arrival.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he got to do something because he got some investment going on there. I mean, hey, you got to sell millions millions of Essential phones, man, to get these people happy. I'm Andy Rubin. I promise you that I'm gonna sell 60 million Essential phones. Just give me your money.
It's just bad timing for that, though. You hit a dead season where the iPhone is stagnant, the Galaxies are stagnant. Then Andy can drop his phone. Because right now it's gonna get swallowed up.
I mean, think about it. I mean, if really he had a window. I mean, when he did his keynote, whatever that was, he did, right? He was on the whatever Recode, show that was, right?
I think Recode, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? He had a window. I mean, everybody was watching him. He had a lot of viewers on it. It was hoopla, right? Like, yeah, we got a new phone from Andy Rubin. He said he was going to have this device out at the end of the month. He promised a Sprint. Everybody go have this phone, $700. Give me your money. Take it. We're going to have 360 cameras. We're going to have all kinds of mods. Give me your money. I'm Andy Rubin. And what happened? We 2.5 months later, and nobody got the phone.
Yeah. People moved on. They moved on.
So at this point, I mean, he had to have a larger campaign to try to sell his device, right? I mean, a lot of the tech reviewers was pretty much dogging it out, said that the cameras was not that great and stuff like that. I don't know.
I think MKHD killed. No, was it? Yeah, I think he killed him.
It was him.
Yeah. I think he killed it, and Michael Fisher killed it too.
Yeah, jeez. I wanted to cry for Andy when I'm like, man.
Like, oh Lord, your big YouTubers just slammed it. Oh boy,
it's about 3 or 4 YouTubers out there that will make a break in the industry.
Yeah. I could give you one phone that they dogged out all in one weekend. It's the HTC U11.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, they dogged it out in one weekend. I mean, one weekend. And wasted space. We got complete wasted space.
But
right?
But you know what, Eric? This is why, like you mentioned earlier about the smaller YouTubers. It's important that we, review these devices because, I mean, you guys may have a different viewpoint on this, but a lot of these big time YouTubers, they're getting paid by these big companies. So, for everyone out there in the chat, you got to be careful with that. And, money talks. So I enjoy watching particularly smaller YouTubers because a lot of time you're going to get a more and more honest opinion on the device. I mean, I don't even know how HTC is still around though, man. It's just like,
well, wait, don't worry about that. Google about to suck them up.
Yeah.
They gonna buy them?
Yeah, yeah. Rumor has it that Google is in the race to go to drop some capital to go swoop HTC out of their misery. I mean, they're losing millions of dollars a quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, they're losing it, man. They can't sustain it. I mean, look what BlackBerry did, right? I mean, BlackBerry was bleeding money. So I mean, what they did, I mean, you know what? We'll make the OS, but we're gonna send you the responsibility, TCL, and there you got the BlackBerry Key 1. There you go.
That might be a real good deal, man. I still miss the glory days of HTC, man. The Evo, it was the king of smartphones, in my opinion, anyways. Yeah. And the build quality on that phone was far superior to anything out. And then all of a sudden, it just went downhill.
Yeah. Well, I think what happened, I could give you a prime example. What happened with HTC, right? HTC came out the M7, M8. I love those devices, front-facing speakers, right? They came out with something different. The front-facing speakers, metal build. They were the kind of like the pioneers of the metal design, right? Then what happened next? The HTC M8 or M9 with the Snapdragon 810 processor. It was a hot box. It was a terrible device. It was laggy. It was buggy. Then it just like they just couldn't recoup after that, right? They just couldn't do nothing. It was done. After that, then they started releasing just crazy devices here and there. They started releasing, HTC devices. It just wasn't worth it, right? So at that point, HTC was down here after that.
But it also goes back to what you were talking about as far as marketing too, because I remember the HTC, what was it, the M7 and M8, those were great looking phone and as far as I'm concerned, great performing phones, but they didn't market lifestyle features like Samsung was, because by that time Samsung had already taken over where Apple left off and everything else. So they just weren't in the game because they lacked lifestyle features.
Yeah, you think about it too. Also, if you guys remember the S5, right, had a plastic bill and everything, and
is that Band-Aid phone?
The Band-Aid phone, yeah. I don't know why I came up with
Band-Aid phone. Oh no, that was crazy.
But if you think about it, when the S6 came out, that changed the game because we got a metal frame now, which the quality was pretty much on par with HTC, and that just, I think HTC tried to do like a dual camera or something, but it didn't. Yeah, it didn't catch on.
Well, one of the biggest problems with HTC was they had bad cameras. I mean, HTC just couldn't. They just couldn't get the cameras right. I mean, to me, in my opinion, when you look at the M9 or maybe the M10 or whatever, and the HTC U Ultra, HTC U11, that's when the camera started getting better. The HTC U11 camera is fantastic, but you got so many years of bad cameras that ultra megapixels and all that. We got a full ultra pixel camera on this thing.
Sound good.
One of the Tater just said he had a Droid DNA, which I think that device. Do you guys remember the Droid DNA? Right? I think it was. It was a Verizon exclusive. I think it was before its time. It was like one of the first devices to have, if I'm not mistaken, a HD 1080p screen. It was really thin. It had wireless charging. It was before its time, but again, it was only on one carrier. So
one of
the things I want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the stream. I'm reading y'all guys' comments. Shouts out to Tater 42 in the building. Shouts out to Don in the building. Shouts out to Tan in the building, guys. Shouts out to M Tory. Now that person always liked me to say that M-A-T-T-R-E. That's kind of like how they want me to say it. Shouts out to Robin. Shouts out to Sean in the building. Sean, what's up with you?
I've seen Sean around before.
I've seen Sean. Yeah. I see Sean around on a lot of live streams. He do follow a lot of YouTubers. So shout out to them that support a lot of different YouTubers. And you're right. The smaller YouTubers, guys, look, don't get me wrong. I want to be big one day, right? But at the same time, I want to stick to my roots of truth and justice. That's one of the things of being independent, right? When you're independent, you stick to truth and justice. I always talk about this a lot. Be true to the game. Stay true to the game, even if you get big. Don't forget about the little guys, because I used to be like that, right? I remember when I had 100 subscribers, and I emailed a lot of big YouTubers for collaborations, and I went unheard, right? And I was like, man, I got frustrated, but I just went on and started grinding. I ain't even tripped. I ain't even reached out no more. I just said, you know what? I'm going to do my thing. And now, where I'm at right now, I'm still small. I ain't saying I'm big or anything, but right now I just continue to do what I do, and that's it. But at the end of the day, I still want to support my YouTube, and I want to support the family. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna ever, just like forget about where I came from. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do the things I do. Shout out to Tony in the building, unbiased. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. That's it, Tony in the building. I see Tony always here. Michael's in the building. Amen, tech preacher. Now, they give me a name of the tech preacher because sometimes I go off on a rant. So it's like, easy, you the tech preacher. You the tech. Look, I sit up here, I kid you not, right? Look, let me tell you this story. For New Year's Eve, I've done this 2 years in a row. But for New Year's Eve, I did this for 2 years in a row. I sit up here and I have a live stream for like 10 hours. And I live stream throughout the new year. And every hour on the hour, I would say Happy New Year to every country and stuff like that. So I do that every year. Look, I got to get approval from the Oracle. The Oracle is the wife, by the way. And so every year, I got to be like,
you said the Oracle.
Yeah. Look, I'm a tech guy, right? When I talk about the Oracle, right? We know, like, the Oracle, right? Fortune teller, So I get with the Oracle. I said, look, babe, it's New Year's Eve, and I got to do this live stream. And, she like, wow, second year you got to do that. And I start my live stream about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and I go throughout the night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I stay on there, I'll be talking. And it's like, wow, I talk so much. So they started calling me the tech preacher. Right? The tech
That's preacher. A good name. That's a good name for a YouTube channel, actually.
Yeah, it's like
tech. Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, so that got easy, and they called me the tech preacher. So all right, cool. I'm all right with that. You know what I'm saying? But I just try to keep it real. That's all, But so let's get into it. Let's get back into it. What happened? What happened to the LG G6? Let's go back a little bit in time, right? I mean, 2017 has been a strange year. I mean, you got LG G6 came out. I mean, you got the HTC Ultra came out, HTC 11. You got all these other devices. But what happened to the LG G6? It was a device that was praised for me and a lot of YouTubers, right? And it just didn't. It started kicking cans down the road, like it just couldn't
20
sell.
Minutes.
Yeah. I mean, what happened?
About 20 minutes.
Yeah. And I was one of the dumb ones that pre-ordered it, and I paid $750 plus tax, so $800 for the device. And like 2 weeks later, the whole device went down like 40%. I mean, they think about this, right? I mean, right now you get an LG G6. I mean, you get the lady with the milk and cookies standing at the door, right? Then you get the rebate checks, you get the 60-inch TV and all the bells and whistles just to get the phone, right? I'm like, damn, I could have waited 2 weeks and I could have saved $500, or I could have got it for free at this point. What happened to the LG G6?
It's what I was talking about earlier about how fast tech is moving, man. It moves so fast that you got a good 20, 30 minutes worth of fame with these phones, and you're competing against Apple and Samsung. That's so you're competing for third all the time if you're not for Samsung.
But let me be the devil's advocate here. The LG G6 has a beautiful build quality. So it's not the build. The LG G6 got wonderful cameras. So it's not the cameras. The LG G6 cleaned up the operating system. So it's not the OS. I mean, even though they give you the Snapdragon 821, I mean, nobody could use the 835 until the S8 came out. So that's understandable. So you had all this goodness inside this device. Why it just didn't sell? I mean, why everybody just gave up on it?
It's I think I have to go back to status. You know, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, I mean, everyone that I know, and maybe you guys may be different, either has a Samsung or an iPhone.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane, but those two companies, they probably take up a big portion of market share in this country, if not the majority of it. I don't know who third is. I think it might be maybe is it Google? I don't know.
Huawei is actually, guys. This Huawei, I believe, took number 2 spot, right? Number 2 spot from Apple, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I read something about that. Yeah. That's worldwide though, right?
Yeah, that's worldwide, globally, right?
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, that's Huawei, man. They're a sleeper though, man.
Yeah, they make good stuff. Their smartwatches are beautiful.
Yeah, they're a sleeper, man. Everyone's talking about Samsung. I think they're the company that people really need to watch out for.
Yeah.
Because you know, I think Samsung's probably more worried about them than Apple at this point when it relates to Android, because they make some amazing looking phones, and they were the first to do the bezel-less design almost. I know. I mean, I think Sharp might have did something, but
the Sharp Aquos Crystal,
but we'll see. We'll see what they can do.
So we talking about the Mi Mix, right? You talk about it. So Huawei didn't make the Mi Mix, right? Is it? We had another company made the Mi Mix, right? Let's see. I can't think of the name on the top of my head, but I mean, I don't think Huawei made the Mi Mix, because that's we talk about the bezel display. In 2016, you had the So I can't think of Xiaomi. Xiaomi made the Mi Mix, right? Yeah, Xiaomi made the Mi Mix.
Yes.
So they came out. So he had Sharp Aquos Crystal, right? That made that bezel display, which they never made it part 2. Hey, Sharp, shame on you. Shame on you, Sharp. Shame on you. Think about this for a second. Shame on you, Sharp, for lay up there putting your head in the sand after you made the Aquos Crystal. You redesigned smartphones, right? And they just lay up there and stuck their head in the dirt and gave up on the project.
It kind of looked like a concept anyways, though. It didn't look complete. It looked like I didn't like it. I didn't like the aesthetics.
But it was cheap, though. It was cheap.
It was cheap. It was a prepaid phone, if I recall correctly. Yeah.
I mean, even MKBHD said it. You know, he said that he thinks Sharp made that phone just to say we could do this, and they didn't really intend to go nowhere with it. It was just an experiment. It looked like that's what it looked like to me.
But I mean, you think about this. All right, so the Sharp Aquos Crystal, and if I was Sharp, I think I'll be smacking myself across the head, because here we got Xiaomi came out with the Mi Mix, right? Mi Mix was another concept device, but look what the Mi Mix did. A beautiful design device. The 24-karat gold rings around that fingerprint scanner in the camera. Oh man, it was a bezel-less design. The nice little chin at the bottom.
This phone up real quick.
Right, the chin at the bottom with the cameras. Right, I mean, it was a gorgeous device. We couldn't get it in the States. A lot of people was importing it, right? It was pretty expensive, over $1,000 to import that thing. But yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful ceramic bag, gorgeous device, right?
Yeah, that's pretty. I'm looking at it now.
Oh man, I mean, let me tell you something. You talk about a beautiful device. Now we got the Mi Mix 2. I stayed up all night Sunday watching the keynote address of the Mi Mix 2. Now the Mi Mix 2 came out. You got the gorgeous ceramic design. You have a 6-inch device, edge-to-edge display. They shrunk down the bottom portion. It is a beautiful device. Not only that, but it is one of those devices that has all the bands. all the United States bands. The problem is it's not coming to the United States, but it does have all the US bands. And I tell you what, Xiaomi, and I say this a lot, that Xiaomi could be a company that can come to the United States along with Huawei and kind of make some stuff happen, because I mean, they're doing some designs and a lot of copying, you know what I'm saying, here and there, you know, and but I think if in 2016, if Xiaomi would have brought that Mi Mix to the United States, woo, before Samsung, before LG, I mean, you got a bezel display, just gorgeous. I think it would have done something.
I think some people would have bought it, but you cannot get past brand recognition, man. You just said that you know, Apple and Samsung, whether you like iOS or Android, it's going to be Apple or Samsung. When people go into the Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T store, they're walking in there to look for a Galaxy or an iPhone, and then you see a Xiaomi Mi Mix. It's beautiful, but I don't trust it because I ain't never heard of this phone before. Or an LG. Yeah, I've heard of LG before. Don't they make refrigerators too?
Yeah.
But this Galaxy, man, I know about this Galaxy because my friends got one.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a trust factor there.
Yeah.
In buying something that you just don't know much about. And then to think about it, most people just don't have a bunch of money to just drop on a phone all the time.
Yeah.
So you kind of stuck with it. So it's like, oh, let me go with what I trust. That's why these phones don't do well.
And you also got to think, when you go into a store and you say your average consumer, normally the salesperson is going to sell what they have, or it's something that they're familiar with, so they, you know, can at least come across as being some level of competent. So, you know, these companies have a lot of work to do. I mean, it could be done. I mean, look at if you think about it, and I'm gonna go back. If you think BlackBerry, for instance, they own the smartphone market in the United States.
Yeah.
And then overnight, you know, Apple came through and took it away. But, you know, and even who else? Think Palm. You could think back to Palm when they had a big portion of the smart. This was, I think, before even they were calling them smartphones, they was calling them PDAs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But it could be done. Listen, Apple, they're not going to last forever. Samsung, they're not going to last forever. I would say keep an eye on Google. Google's who you want to keep an eye on, because they own the operating system. They own the software. So, but yeah, I don't think Apple's going to last, but another, I don't know, Eric, I'll give them another 5 years.
I think people are going to get fed up with Apple. I think
I'm sorry.
They're going to get tired of that old Apple trick that they do every year.
I don't know, man.
They're going to get tired of them super retina displays.
Oh. Hey, man, let me tell you something. I don't know, man. I tell you, you made some good points there. But, man, I don't know if – I think you're going to see HTC going to be gobbled up by Google, all right? Then I see LG – possibly. LG just kind of like, you know what? They're making money, but they're losing money in the mobile department. So I don't know that if LG, I may be wrong, I mean, but I don't know if LG go kind of hang in there a little bit. But Apple and Samsung, man, are the two major players, man. I don't think that those two going away. Apple and Samsung is the two major players, because you got to think about it like this. Right now, Galaxy phones are more popular than they was years ago.
Oh yeah, yes.
All right. So to me, Samsung is like the beginning, and you know what? They could take all that debacle with the Note 7. If you didn't know Samsung, you know Samsung now, right?
Oh yeah.
So now everybody got their eyes on the Note 7 and what Samsung is going to do with the Note 8, right? And what you see in a lot of comments is the Note 8 go blow up. You know what? Samsung, I know I hate it, but Samsung might love that, because at the end of the day, you're still thinking about us. That's the market right there. You're still thinking about us. So, that's a huge 5 years. I think in 5 years, I think Samsung and Apple is going to probably be the only cell phone companies out there.
So to your point, Eric, Samsung, I commend them for the response that they did when the Note 7 thing happened. Antoine, you had a couple replacements, I'm guessing, with your Note 7.
Yeah,
but it was definitely good. And you stuck with Samsung. You still have a Samsung, so
I ain't going nowhere.
They did something right. I mean, but again, I'll say it again, BlackBerry, they were at the top. And I don't even know how they're still alive today, but they are still kicking. But at some point, someone has to take the crown. And Samsung and Apple have the crown right now. So the question is, I mean, these companies are working day and night trying to figure a way to take Apple and Samsung down. At some point, it's going to happen.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Shout out to Miguel. I've been seeing him in the comments. He said the only smartphones. What are you smoking, Eric? No, I say the only smartphone companies. I'm not saying I don't. I responded to the question of in 5 years Apple is going to be gone, right? I don't think that. I'm saying that I think Samsung and Apple is going to be a larger player in the market besides going down. And look, so I
feel like it's already that way.
That's what I'm saying, like right now. And also, I want to respond to Miguel saying, "What about those Saints?" Yeah, my boys, yeah, I know. All right, I know my boys, man. Don't worry about it, man. Look, a true fan always stay close to their roots, man. I'm a true fan. Look, I was around when we had bags on the head, man. And we gonna be here, man. We gonna be here, but we also got to reign. We also got to reign. All right. So, Miguel, I'm gonna tell you, my Saints, who that nation in the building? Welcome to the Superdome.
Oh man.
So let's
go ahead. Let me see who that was real quick. Let me go up because this was a good comment. So Gary Brown, if you scroll up a little bit, he says 2 out of every 5 people who have a Samsung device don't use it to its fullness. I gotta agree with that because they throw a lot of stuff in their phones. And you know, matter of fact, I asked the lady the other day. I teach a fitness class, and I asked everybody in there who has a Samsung phone. She was the only one in there out of like 8 people with a Samsung phone. I was kind of disappointed with that. But then I said, "What kind of phone do you have?" She said, "A Galaxy Note S8." I said, "Cool. Do you use Samsung Pay?" She was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? All the money you can get back in rewards." I know. She didn't even want to know what it was. She walked out of the building like, "You giving away free money." It's just one feature that actually pays you to use. So I do believe there's a lot of people out there just buy a phone, they text, they talk, they make funny emojis and put bunny ears on their faces, and that's pretty much it. That's it. That's all they do, man.
So let's we would talk. Someone in the comments said something about innovation, and I mean, I guess I don't want to talk about Apple, but what do y'all guys thought on this new AR train that's seems to, I don't know, is it going to go anywhere?
I think it's cool. I think it'll probably go as fast as VR.
Eat emojis, but yeah. I mean, Snapchat. If you think it's Snapchat is huge, and
stop.
I mean,
I don't like Snapchat. It bothers me that so many people find it necessary to make their face into a freaking goat. Or like, that's not cool, man. Okay, it was cool when it first happened, like first 1,000 or so people did it. I was like, oh, that's pretty cute. But at some point, you know, when you're in your 30s and 40s, man, you can't just be putting animal faces on your pictures. I scrolled through my Instagram. I don't even have Snapchat. I scrolled through my Instagram or Facebook, and I got some, 40-year-old woman like this with the bunny ears on. I'm like, so these talking muscle face emojis, I'm not into that either. So I'm hoping that doesn't make it.
What do you think, Eric? Is it going to take off? Is it? I don't know.
Let me tell you something. I am a huge, again, devil's advocate. I am a huge fan of AR. I've actually made videos. I made a lot of AR videos, by the way, because it was the Motorola device that had AR. It was the Fab 2 Pro. All right. So I made a lot of videos about the Fab 2 Pro. It had Project Tango on it. I was excited, man. I'm in my backyard making videos with the Fab 2 Pro, and I'm just running around my backyard like a kid, man. I tell you what, AR is fun. I mean, I was playing like video games, man. They got things coming at me, man, in real time. And I'm running around my backyard trying to make a video, but I felt like a 20-year-old, a 15-year-old. I think AR is great for kids, man. Anytime you want to get a bunch of kids in the backyard and just let them have fun for a little while, throw them on AR, show them a little bit about AR. I mean, they got some fun games on there. You got shoot 'em up games and all kinds of stuff on there. AR is nice. I like AR. I mean, I was like running around in my backyard. It's very fun. I made a few videos about the Fab 2 Pro, by the way. But yeah, you know what? To the mass market, I don't know if Apple didn't doing it. See, here's the thing: Apple's doing it, and you all of a sudden saw that Android is pulling like Tango out of the dumpster. Like, you know, they rebranded it. So hey, Android is saying, hey, look, we ain't gonna let Apple do it all alone. We gonna pull Project Tango out and do something about it too.
So here's the thing with AR. I think it's going to be huge. There's some industries, and I think you guys know where I'm going with this, that's really going to take advantage of AR. You got like games. Unfortunately, you got the porn industry. I think is going to take a huge advantage of this technology. So I think it's here to stay. I'm really sad though that Google couldn't take Tango to where it needed to go. It's just, I mean, the battery sucked.
That was saddening. That was saddening.
It's really sad because, and it's not the only thing that Google has done that Apple comes through and does a better job. If you guys think back, I don't think it was called Android Pay. I can't remember what it was called. What was it called? But who cares? Google was the first to do NFC payments, but it just never really gained any traction. And it's insane how Apple can come through, put a name on something, and then it's just become successful, you know? So again, I think Google has a lot of work to do, and Samsung when it relates to marketing. I think Samsung has gained some traction, but I think Google needs to continue to push that pedal to get consumers to, you know, buy into their services and products, you know. So
well, as we talk about Google, let's go to switch. What about the Google Pixel? We got the Pixel 2 coming out. We got two versions of the Pixel 2. We got the regular Pixel 5-inch device. Then we're going to have this huge 6-inch Pixel with the 18:5, 18:9 aspect ratio. What y'all think about this new Pixel that's coming out?
Well, I'm looking at the new Pixel because I was not a fan of the aesthetics of the old one. It looked like an iPhone.
Hey, you with me on that one? Boy, I don't
the big forehead and chin. Like, that's the wasted space once again. Wasted space. Let me look at this Google Pixel. Said Pixel 2.
You know, the first Pixel looked like an iPhone with no button. I don't know. I mean,
pretty much that's what it is.
But it was just like, what is that, an iPhone? It looks like an iPhone, but it's a Pixel. Yeah. It had an amazing camera though.
Well, the thing about it, what happened with the Google Pixel, they changed. You came out the Google Pixel, and the Google Pixel came out at a demanding price point. First time ever happened. Well, the Nexus 6 did that when they came out with that high-end $607, almost $700, and it caught everybody by storm. Like, they didn't think that the Nexus 6 was going to be that expensive. Then here we got the Nexus 6P, which was a phenomenal device. Now then we got the Pixel. Pixel came out at a high price point, but at least Google brought some stuff to the table. The design was, you know, I really dogged the design. Really, I did.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. But one of the things about the Pixel stock Android, right? I mean, you go get fast and fluid, good updates. Yep. We finally got good cameras besides of the flare, right? But you got great cameras. Now, here we got Google is going to come out with the Pixel 2. Now, here's the interesting thing about the Pixel 2 that I'm concerned about. You're going to have two versions of the Pixel 2. You're going to have a 5-inch Pixel, and you got the 18:9 aspect ratio. Now, we've been talking about this until we blew in the face about how the fragmentation of Android is terrible, right? But now here go Google is doing it themselves. They're going to come out with a 16:9 aspect ratio, and then they're going to come out with an 18:9 aspect ratio. So Google is doing it to themselves, right? I mean, they're doing it to themselves. They say, okay, we're going to come out with two devices. One is going to be a 16:9 aspect ratio, and then one going to be an 18:9 aspect ratio. Why is Google doing it?
Because everybody else is. And everyone else is. You got
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's just not something people talk about anymore is the fragmentation because Google, I mean, Android has gotten better and faster and more fluid over the last couple of years. So it's not really a hot topic anymore. But I'm looking at this Pixel 2. I guess it's a render. I'm hoping it's the real deal because it looks nice. It actually looks like a Galaxy.
Yeah, but everything looking like Galaxy these days. I mean, the V30, right? Everybody kind of like putting the V30 together. It's like, oh, that looks like a Galaxy.
Man, well, it looks like an S8, man. It really does, and it looks nice. But I've never been a real fan of stock Android. I mean, I get that it runs faster and smoother, but I've always liked having the extra features that HTC put in the Sense UI. And I've always been a fan of touch. I mean, not touch, TouchWiz. Yeah. So, I mean, that's never really bothered me, even though it does lag. It does lag, but I like the extra stuff that they put in there. Just because
the Note 8 don't lag.
You know what, man? You know what? I'm a Samsung fanboy to the core, but I gotta admit, every time I get a phone, man, that thing runs beautifully until I try to show somebody something. Like, hey, man, look at this. Look what my phone can do. Oh wait, hold on, real quick. Let me. It always does it to me.
It's not doing it now.
But then, after 6 to 8 months, man, I think they all start to lag, man. It's just what they do, and I'm a conspiracy theorist when it comes to this. I think they start pushing out them secret updates to slow your phone down because the new one's coming out, man. It makes you want the new one because your old was crap, but it's only 3 months old. So.
Yeah. But one thing you got to hand it to Samsung. They did something they never did before. They support the legacy devices. The Galaxy S6, the Galaxy Note 5, the Galaxy. I mean, they all got updates to Nougat.
They have definitely improved on
first. That's a first because I mean, you all know Samsung history. After about a year, maybe about 6 to 9 months, they done right. But they did support their legacy devices, and even the Note 4 is still getting security patches. That is
that's because I think that's only because of what happened with the Note 7. I think they just feel bad for us.
But you know what? I didn't think about it. Hey, but guess what? Hey, whatever works, right? Whatever works.
Yeah. My wife is still rocking that Note 4, man.
Oh, Note 4. Oh, woo.
Hey, the removable battery, man.
That's the last
one. Removable battery.
That is the last dragon.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Note
you know what else? That was the first.
That's it. No one else is doing it.
Yeah. Note 4 Edge. The Note Edge.
Right.
Oh man. Woo.
But you know what? That was the. I love the build of that phone.
Yeah.
It was such a solid device, man. Even though it had the plastic like faux leather back, it was that
executive
frame. That frame. Yeah, you're right. It had this executive type of feel and look to it. Love that phone, man.
Note 4 gonna be always a great phone, man. No matter what, the Note 4 gonna be for life, always. Man.
Yep.
So listen, I know it's the top of the hour, guys, and I don't know if you have to run. I know you said you was on the timeline, but if you have to run, let us know. You all right?
I'll let you know. I think I'm okay for right now.
All right, cool. So we go and continue on and continue on to have fun. That's how we go.
Let it come knocking.
Yeah, let's get into some more comments. Let's see. Removable battery, LG V20. Woo! And look, I got it.
Oh yeah, they do have that.
I got an that's an Honor 6X. I got an LG V20 right here. Let me show y'all guys the LG V20. Yes, in the building. That's what I'm talking about. LG V20.
Now, I'll be honest with y'all, man. When I first saw that they were starting to take away the batteries, I did get a little butthurt about it. But for me, I don't know. I guess it didn't make that much of a difference because now we have this fast charging and fast wireless charging. And even the headphone jack, even though I still have one, I'll use it every blue moon. But between removing a headphone jack and a battery, I think at least Samsung, because that's all I really use. I think they've adopted well to not having removable batteries because battery life, it is what it is. You know, unless you want a really big phone, you're not going to get better battery life. Yeah. Especially with these screens and everything that they do. But the fact that you can charge it up like super quick, I mean, I'm good with that. And as far as having a headphone jack, I'm a Bluetooth dude. I get in the car, Bluetooth. The headphones I'm using, they're Bluetooth. The only reason I got them with a wire right now is because I'm using this mic. So, I mean, I'm good with removing some of this stuff. But you got to keep a home button for crying.
Yeah, you got to keep a home button. What you think about that, Dave? Home button.
All right, so let's talk about the home button.
All right, let's talk about it.
And I, I'm a Google/Apple guy. I have a Pixel.
I see your ear pods. I see the ear pods, man. I see them.
So I have a Pixel and I have an iPhone. I switch back and forth. Happen. Samsung next year, this is a prediction, they're going to get rid of the home button.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's going to happen? Like, are they going to pull an Apple where you got to swipe everything, or?
I wouldn't be surprised. It seems like these manufacturers, they just copy each other. There's no,
I don't know, man.
There's really no innovation.
This whole removing the home button and swipe stuff, that's really not an Apple thing, though. I was really shocked by that.
I know it's not an Apple thing. It's not an Apple thing.
That's almost innovation right there. And that's not really Apple. I'm not trying to insult Apple right now.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's on the side of that's on the side of innovation. You know, having these swipe gestures and you can do this and that. And I'm like, man, Apple did that? Like, they did that, and it's, you know what?
So here's the thing. So like, remember I talked about BlackBerry, and I think someone in the comments said BlackBerry really never innovated. Apple, it's a art. You can't. You got to be careful because you got your hardcore people that have been using your phones for years amongst years. You don't want to confuse them. You know, if you think back to, I'll give you a good example. My wife, she was a Windows user forever. And her computer broke. She went into the store. There was Windows 8. She said, "What the hell is this?"
I said that.
Is this Windows? What is this?
God. Yeah.
She got a Mac because the Mac, while it wasn't what she was used to, it was closer to what she was used to in comparison to Windows 8. So I think Apple, I think they're just testing the waters right now. All right, let's do this crazy iPhone X or iPhone 10, and then we'll still do an iPhone 8 for our people who still want their home screen, so they can kind of get the best of both worlds. So, but
I understand exactly what you're saying, but that's just not what Apple does.
Yeah. You're right, man.
Apple like to wait like 5 years and then come out and say, "We got the Super Retina display."
Yeah, and this wireless charging thing, what do they call that? Air charge, or they call it Apple juice.
Did you guys read
Beetlejuice? They call it Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. They call it Beetlejuice. We gonna call it.
It only charges at 7 watts. That's it.
Oh man,
it's slow. It's going to take 2 days to charge your iPhone.
When you throw a Galaxy fast charge up to that, it's like, oh no. You know what? It makes my head hurt with this. Yeah. How far Apple is behind with some of these features, and it's new now. It's awesome.
Yeah,
but that excites me because the rest of the world will adopt many other other people will adopt, like, now there's going to be wireless charging everywhere. Every airport's going to have it because Apple has done it, and Apple sets a standard for the rest of the world with all manufacturers. So I'm glad it's out there now. It's going to become a popular thing. What else did they bring out? There was something else that they brought out as new.
4K Apple, 4K Apple TV.
Okay. So yeah, it's just old stuff that they like to rebrand and put the Apple badge on. It's like, oh yeah, we got this.
We got 4K.
Yeah, but hey, somebody did want to talk about this foldable display. I saw it in the comments.
Yeah,
and I've been waiting on this since the Note 4 Note. Y'all remember that little commercial Not Apple, but Samsung had where the dude was at the bar, he took the girl. Y'all remember that one?
Yeah. And, that's been like that 5 years ago.
Yeah, that was the Note 4 keynote, I think.
Yep.
And I think it's rumors, man. I cannot picture it in my head looking seamless and sellable. I see this big hinge in it somewhere that's just not going to flow right. And it's probably going to be massive, and nobody wants to carry around anything massive anymore unless it's flat. So I can't really see it. I think it's still an urban legend.
Look, I'm going to tell you this much, guys. I'm not even going to lie to you. Y'all guys sound like huge YouTubers, man. Y'all study the craft. This is why I like the smaller YouTubers, right? Because not only do we study the craft, we read up on what's going on in the industry, right? We're not just making paid videos and promos and stuff like that. Y'all guys study the craft. That's what's so important about these streams that I do. When I get the smaller YouTubers on, we talk knowledge. This is the real right here, man. Man, I'm loving this because
we actually have to spend our money on this stuff.
Exactly. You have to, think about this. I give you a prime example. All right, so in the beginning of the year, I tell my Oracle, I say, listen, man, I got to buy
Oracle, man, you're killing me.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And she's like, whoa, wait a minute. And I'm like, yeah, I got to buy the U11, the Pixel, I got to buy 2 Galaxy S8s, I got to buy the U11, I got to buy the Pixel, I got to buy this, and I'm like, wait a minute, well, how much? See, sometimes, your oracles, yeah, baby, you do YouTube, no big deal, that's your hobby, right? No big deal, right? But when
so she see that bank stuff,
you start seeing the bank statements, right? You're like 1,000 here, 1,000 there, 1,000 here, 1,000 there, 1,100 here. Then you gotta get Amazon screen protectors, cases.
Oh my God.
Amazon, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, whoa, wait a minute, you just bought 2 houses. You just bought 2 houses. Don't you understand that you done paid for a house? Like, yeah, but it's my hobby, honey. It's my hobby, I mean, hey, look, I got the merchandise. I mean, I got easy computer. I got websites. I got 3 YouTube channels. I mean, hey, come on, baby. I got Patreon.
Yeah, you're right, man.
But yeah, it is expensive to be a YouTuber, man.
You did bring up something. Well, you really didn't bring it up. You just said it. Cases. Do y'all use cases on your phones?
Oh, yeah. I use clear cases on all my devices, clear cases and glass screen protectors. That's all. Every device you see me with, I got clear cases on all my devices. I don't use nothing else but clear cases. That's it.
All right. So here's my story. Here's my testimony with cases. Up until this Galaxy S7 Edge, I was a case fanatic. I needed a case to go with every outfit. Like I would buy a new phone and literally like $200-300 worth of cases over time. Like it's got to be a different color, different style. I need one from a ruggedness outdoors. I need one from my slacks, and I needed a screen protector. Then I moved up to glass, and I did all that. Then the Galaxy Note 7 comes out. I did the same thing, man. I had like 6 or 7 cases. Actually, that was one. I think that was like my 2nd or 3rd video on YouTube was Galaxy Note 7 cases, and I'm still heartbroken over it because I can't use the cases no more. I ended up getting a Galaxy S7, and it actually, when I felt it, it did not feel as comfortable to hold naked as the as the Note 7 did. And so I said, man, I got to get a case for this thing just so it'll feel better in my hand. So I did, and I mean, it was okay, but then I took the case off, and I've been rocking a skin on the back of this thing ever since because I don't want to scratch the glass. But I don't even have a screen protector on here, and it's been, I don't know how long it's been, I guess since November, but I got to knock on wood, but no scratches, no nothing, man. They make these things pretty durable now, man. I've dropped it a couple of times. The screen is fine. The aluminum, I don't know what this frame is. Is it aluminum or what? But I mean, it's got a little ding on it, but that's it. So I'm wondering, do phones really need cases anymore and glass screen protectors? Because I always feel like the glass on the phone is harder than the screen protector anyways.
I think, okay, so the accessory market is huge. It makes billions of dollars every year. So yeah, I think a lot of people still like cases simply because we were just talking about $1,000 phone.
Right.
True.
We were just at the end of the day, these things that we carry in our pocket, they're our livelihood almost. It's like I can't even explain how important phones are to people and how much, if you don't have your phone, I think there may be some kind of an illness that may occur if you don't have it with you because you start feeling a certain way. So people want to protect their investment. A lot of people don't get a new phone every year. I think we're YouTubers, so we probably get phones every year. But a lot of people
I had to cut you off, man, but somebody said my wife has a mandatory OtterBox.
Yeah, I see that.
Hey man, that's my wife. Now I can run with no case, but you gotta have a case, bro.
Like, oh baby, but you need an OtterBox. $1,000 phone, you ain't taking that out the house.
You got to have a case. For me, though, when it comes to cases, I'm not as brave as you with the skins because, you know, I tend to push towards the cases that the OEM makes, the manufacturer makes. I like those a little bit better because they tend to fit a little bit better. I have
definitely
my Pixel case. I got it from Google, and it fits really nice, and it kind of complements the phone. But yeah, I like the OEM cases. I normally get the leather iPhone cases when they come out every year. But I think cases are necessary for most people. But you're a dangerous man.
I like living on the edge.
You're a dangerous man because you got that glass on the front and the back.
Yeah, buddy. It feels so good in my hand.
It feels good though.
And I get to just I don't know. And everybody that sees me with no case, they look at me like I ain't got no clothes on for real. Like, I don't know too many people who don't rock cases, except you always have this friend with an iPhone, right? Everybody has at least that one friend with an iPhone with that jacked up screen.
Crack-a-lack-a-lack. I mean, they got it split down the middle, and they're still swiping on it. It's all cracked up.
Shards of glass coming out on your face.
Yeah. Blood. And you look at their finger, they got all kinds of cuts and bruises on their fingers. I'm like, you know what? You know you could get that replaced for like under $100, right? Yeah, I'm waiting on the next iPhone. I ain't worried about this iPhone.
Yeah, I saw somebody with one of them today, man. I was like, dude, you got to do better in life.
Yeah. God, I mean, like iPhone glass replacement. I mean, they got iPhone fix-it places everywhere. I mean, you could get it fixed for you could do it yourself, actually. I mean, right now, you can really change your own iPhone screen. All you gotta do is buy it from Amazon, right? You get the replacement from Amazon. Now, Apple stopped it at one time. Remember, Apple was screwing around with Touch ID, and people that was replacing their screens, their Touch ID stopped working. But Apple fixed that with an update. But yeah, man, you could just get the whole kit from online for like $60. Change your own doggone screen on the iPhone. It's easy to do. I mean, I do them all the time. I mean, people bring the iPhone, I'll be like 15 minutes, and there you go, give me $120. You know what I'm saying? But it's easy to do, you know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's probably the only device that probably has the easiest screen to change is the iPhone.
Yeah, the Samsung's got all this glue and everything, and you know they're just a lot more difficult to replace the screen.
iPhones, you can fix those in 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Now y'all know that I
know this iPhone 10.
Cyclops. No, you cannot change that screen. The Apple wants you to bring that straight to Apple. No, you ain't changing that.
No, that's no. I don't think that's going to be easy to fix. But but while we talking about replacing screens, what are y'all thoughts on phone insurance for devices? Is this something that you guys get, or do you guys?
Nah, I don't get it.
You know what, man? I got a comment about that. So what was it? My last phone. Oh, yeah, the Note 4. I feel like, okay. In some ways, I feel like it's a big ripoff. And then in some ways, I feel like, okay, you might need it.
Yeah.
I feel my Note 4, I forgot what I was doing to it. I actually bricked it, I think. And I just said I lost it. I was trying to root that mug, man. I was trying to do something to it. Ended up bricking that bad boy. I called Sprint and they told me I need to call somebody else. Ended up spending $200 for this thing to get a new one. And I felt so ripped off because, I mean, I don't know. It was just that whole experience. So having an insurance plan, I feel like if you are that clumsy cat that, you know, wants to rock it with no case, maybe you should have some insurance if you're not going to do a case or something like that. But be prepared to pay $200 a pop.
Yeah, the deductible.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
you know, but I guess it is a lot of money if you just dropped $1,000 on the phone and you got to replace the whole thing. But I guess it depends on your usage because I mean it's insurance. It's just like, you know, with your car. You know, you pay for it and pay for it, pay for it. You feel like you're getting ripped off because you never get to use it until you need it.
But you know what? Let me play devil's advocate here, right? I mean, you think about this, and I got plenty of phones over here, and I got plenty of phones in the box. I keep my devices pristine, right? After I review a device, either I reset it, I put it back in the box, or I keep it as a display up here, right? So think about this for a second. If you got a pristine device and the charger, I never take the chargers out the case. I never take anything out the case but the device. If you put that device back in the case and you sell it, you can get pretty good fair market value on a device versus a broken up, scratched up, and you know, screen all torn up and stuff like that. So you can get a pretty decent price for a device that has all the stuff in the box. You still have the box. That's the key. I always tell people, keep the box. That is the key to success. The box. Yes, the box is the key. And that's the thing, you know, for resale value. Keeping the box, keeping all the stuff in the box, that is great. That's why screen protectors and cases are important. Because think about this. Your Galaxy S7, with all the scuff that you got at the top, the resale value is so low on it. Versus mine's, I got one that's sitting in the box that I might have used twice. The resale value on that is probably about at least $150 more than yours. So that's how I look at it like that too, you know.
I get what you're saying about that. And I have considered that, but with my phones, at some point I just decided I was going to keep them all. I had no intentions on selling them. And that's the reason why I did not give up my Note 7. I got the second one on the second go around.
Right, which was great.
I was not returning the next one. Yeah, it's because it's a collector's item. And I have the Note 2 because I'm a 2-year Note trader upper. I don't do it every year. So I had the Note 2, the Note 4, and I was hoping, you know, the Note 7 was going to work. Now I got to do this whole 8 thing. But yeah, I keep them. So, you know, if they have a couple of scratches on it, it's cool because, you know, it's just my daily usage. But as far as phones go, I don't plan on ever getting rid of them. Now, everything else, these headphones I got on, boxes, everything is still pristine for resale value because I'm a box hoarder for real. I got a closet full of boxes. And then at some point, you got to think, though, you kept this thing so nice for so long.
Yeah.
You know how fast tech moves. So a year and a half, even a couple of months, 8 to 10 months, man, that thing's worth half what you paid for it. So you might as well keep it and just use it as a trophy.
Hey, you know what? I agree with you. Same thing what I said about like the Nexus. I mean, like the LG G6, right? I paid $750 for it. Right now, if I was to sell my LG G6, I might have to sell it for $100. So no, I got to keep that phone. But man, I mean, look, these are some of the collector's items. I mean,
that's a pretty phone.
This is a collector's item. Anybody that got rid of your Nexus 6, please go bam your head against the door. There's no way you're supposed to give this phone up. No way. Front facing speakers. It's running Oreo on it right now. I mean, God, I put that beautiful, this beautiful device.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And guess what? It's rugged. I got a glass screen protector on it. I mean, this is a device I probably wouldn't put a case on, right? But I mean, I still put a clear case on it. But I mean, the cameras are dog meat. I mean, very bad cameras. But the Nexus 6, Nexus user stand up. Because this was a device right here.
Nexus was always a beautiful phone. I just, like I said, I'm not a fan of stock Android. I just thought it was boring.
Yeah.
I liked all the colors and bubbles from TouchWiz.
Yeah, well, you know, the thing about TouchWiz, oh my God, obviously, yeah, I know. Obviously, Samsung had to change the name. They call it Samsung. Well, they went to the Nature UX, right? Then they changed it to Samsung Experience. You know, so but if I found out if you actually go in deep into your device, right? You go into About Phone, it's going to say TouchWiz.
Yep, it still does.
It still says TouchWiz on your phone. I want to show everybody this. I'm gonna let y'all talk, but I want to find out where I found that at, so I can show everybody that it does say TouchWiz. If you go to this is the Note 8, by the way. Go to
you gotta be just flashing in front of us like that.
Go to Bill. Lord, let me see. I know I've seen it, and it says something about TouchWiz on it.
I think you're the first person that I know that
that likes TouchWiz.
I never met anyone that said, "Oh man, TouchWiz, boy,
TouchWiz is awesome, man." I'm an oddball like that. I liked all the extra stuff, man. It lags like crazy, but I just like having all them features, man.
I'm thinking back to some of these.
Go ahead.
TouchWiz. No, I know you were talking about all the different features that Samsung is putting in their phone, and I was just thinking about they had this one feature where the video, it would continue to play, but if you looked away, it would stop playing. So I can't remember what phone that was, but I had the phone, and I'm like looking at the phone, and it's like I look like a crackhead almost because the second you look away, I was like, that's a pretty dumb feature. We naturally just don't stare at our screens. But you know, they Samsung, I think what Samsung did is they said, let's just put a lot of features in the phone. When you come into the store, you're gonna say, which phone has more features? And the salesperson gonna say Samsung.
See, I'm that guy that they get, man. It's like, ooh, this one will flush your toilet for you. I'm like, for real? Give me that phone. You know, I'm still the cat that's pining over the IR blaster, man. I miss that thing. And I don't understand. And all the stuff that they took off the phones, why did that have to go?
No one used the IR. Well,
I used the IR, but I was the one of 12 people that used it religiously.
Go into a bar and turn a game off.
See, I didn't do savage stuff like that, man. I
think I did that once. He's at the 5-yard line.
Oh, that's just me, man. That's just me. I'm still looking for this TouchWiz stuff on the build number and everything, but I guess
I've seen it. I know I've seen it. That's why I wanted to kind of.
I've seen it too. I'm still looking for it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Speaking of TouchWiz, do you guys remember the Play Edition Samsung phones that they had?
Yes. What was that?
What?
I think that was a Galaxy S6 or maybe, or S.
They should have stayed. I mean, a pure Android Note 8. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. But I
don't think there wasn't enough money in that for somebody. That's all.
Yeah, they did a couple of them. I think Samsung was trying to find that direction in terms of, are we going to keep Nexus? What are we going to do? And they kind of settled on Pixel because Nexus was more of a geek phone, you know, it was for developers, and you know, they wanted to kind of go mainstream with the Pixel, and I think they succeeded to a certain extent, but they still got a lot of work to do. Yeah. But yeah, I think the Play Editions probably were just like trying to test out. Maybe if we do a Play Edition, I don't know. But they were expensive too. They were really expensive. You couldn't get a contract.
And you might as well had gotten a regular one because it came with just more features from TouchWiz. See, wait a minute. Wait. Kevin says, or it's Kelvin. Kelvin says he misses the IR blaster. That's what's up. Where are my IR blaster people at? Y'all go ahead and check in right now. I need some support on this. Because
I like the IR blaster. I like the IR blaster.
Yeah, man.
Eric, what did you use it for? Like what?
For my TV, man.
What? Man,
really?
Yes.
Sometimes the remote just was not handy.
No, y'all see this? IR blaster right here. HTC
One. There's another greatly built phone.
It's all about the Chromecast life now, man.
Man, I don't even use
Chromecast.
IR blaster.
Hey,
right
matter of fact, since we're talking about stuff like that, see, you throwing all these phones in my face, man. Like you got all the phones. You were that kid that had all the good Legos and the GI. I hated them kids, man. I've never had the good toys. I go over somebody's house like you got all the good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And guess what? I still rocking some Windows phones.
Oh,
the 1520.
You know what, man? I wish.
Oh,
I would have straight up converted to Windows Phone if
they had apps.
Before I got what I'm using now, which is a HP Spectre 360. I use the Surface Pro 3. Love that device. I'm gonna call it a device because it's a tablet. I don't know what it's called. Anyways, I wanted a matching phone to go with that thing. If they had come out with a Surface phone that had the same build quality as the Surface Pro 3 with a real app store for real, it would have been an amazing phone. And I really do think that Windows would have a place in the market today. What y'all think about that?
So here's the issue. One word: developers. The developers, they didn't buy into. You know what? They might have. Yeah, they didn't buy in. If I recall, I think I'm not sure who did the Amazon store on their devices. Was that BlackBerry did it? Okay, yeah, they just didn't have the apps. I mean, they didn't even have key apps. Like,
it's just terrible in the store.
I mean, but I feel you. I think the operating system was clean.
Yes,
the animations were dead on. Great UI. I felt there was a mix between Android and iPhone because it was customizable, but it was also clean like the iPhone is, you know, with the icons. So they kept it clean, but it wasn't as junky as, let's say, all the different widgets and things like that you can, put on your Android phone. So it was a good mix, but a little bit too late. Yeah, Microsoft.
Well, can I be devil's advocate on Windows? Okay. We've been waiting on Windows Surface Phone for like 3 years. Microsoft haven't released a device since 2016. The 960 and the 960 XL was the latest devices that Microsoft released. Now, the HP device that they released at a high $800, $900 price point was an HP exclusive to enterprise users. And then Microsoft haven't released Diddy Squad in 2017, and in 2016 they didn't release no devices. Now we've been hearing this rumor about the Surface Phone for like 3 years. How hard it is to make a phone with a pen. I mean, at this point, you could have made anything. You could have made anything with a pen, and Microsoft is like, we don't care about that. They don't really care about it. They really don't.
No. You got a point, man, and I'm over it, to be honest with you, man. I'm just gonna get me a Note 8 and be done. But I really wish I could have owned a Surface Phone. That would have been amazing.
All right, so let me ask you this question. Let me get this in. If you had a Surface Phone, what you gonna do with it? They ain't got no apps. What you gonna do with it?
Well, that's my point, though. I think that they could have actually like started something with a phone. That could have been the start. But you know what? Now that y'all bring it all up, y'all gonna dog me out on the stream. Okay.
Some Excel spreadsheets.
I mean,
somebody said Windows Phone.
You have a pen. What you gonna do with it?
Windows Phone in the App Store is an oxymoron. You got that straight, man. You're right. They could have started subtraction with the phone, man. Because I mean, the Surface Pro 3 did really well. It did really well. So if they could have at least got some developer support, just a little bit more than they had, would have been so much better than what they had. And they could have got something going. But
the biggest problem with Microsoft is that they took their apps and went cross-platform. It's not exclusive. Yeah. See, if you look at it like that, okay, so if you did bring out a Surface Phone, okay, well, I got a Note 8. I can still get Excel. I can still get Word. I can still get PowerPoint, right? Mm-hmm. So why would I switch from a Note 8 to a Surface Phone? Because you have a pen. Okay, so if you got a pen, what apps at? Can I get my banking apps on there? No. Can I get Square
That's
Trade
just
on
a big
there?
problem that they had.
I mean, you can't get. Can I get Clash of Clans on the damn thing? No, no, I can't even get Clash of Clans on it. Can I play Clash of Clans on Windows Phone?
Man.
How about could I play some, NBA sports or anything?
Yeah, it's terrible in that store, man. Every once in a while.
Can I get a YouTube app?
Seriously.
Can I get a native YouTube app? I don't want to use MyTube. I don't want to hear GoTube. I don't want to hear XTube. No, listen. Can I get YouTube? All right, YOUTube. Right? Can I get YouTube? I don't want to get iTube.
I'm sorry I brought it up. I'm sorry.
I don't want that. I don't want
that crucified, man.
I don't want that. So the bottom line, you got a Surface Phone. What you gonna do with it?
Man, you know what? I just wanted to see it happen, man. Because I just wanted to see it. I think the Surface Pro 3 is a great device, and they could have used that traction and made a phone, got some developer support, and it just, you know what? But it would have ended up like the G6. Just
one Microsoft phone that I really liked. It was a copycat of an Android phone. Was HTC. It was like an HTC phone. Which one was that? The M8. Remember they made a Microsoft version and an Android version of the same phone?
Yeah.
I can't think of it. But HTC made a Windows phone. And it was all metal.
I think they did the, now you know, they had a couple of manufacturers that came up with a Windows device. I don't know what it was, but
they kind of did like a Samsung one too. Yeah, but it's all about the apps. You know, like you said, I'm sure some people would ask, hey, does it have Candy Crush on it?
I'm reading some of these comments, man. They're going in on
Windows. You know what's so funny? I remember back when I was making a Windows phone videos, right? And I went hard on Windows. Mm-hmm. I remember when Windows people was upset, the Windows fan was upset because they could not get Pokemon Go, right? They went on, they did an online petition to try to force the app developer to get it to port over, right? And the app developer never did it. They did like 100,000 signatures and all that stuff
money,
like
man.
that.
There's no money there.
Pokemon Go never came to Windows. Now they had third-party Pokemon Go's they call Pokemon or whatever it's called, but I mean maybe Go Pokey, right? Maybe it was like Go Pokey or something, you know.
I'm about to redirect because I know I'm sorry that we kind of went in with this Microsoft phone. I will say this, and I think there was a story that came out about this. One of the best operating systems I've ever used on a smartphone was Web OS.
Woo, yeah, woo, yeah.
It was with the cards. It was amazing. I think they may be relaunching it. Some company bought that UI, if I'm not mistaken.
I know who using it. Apple is using it. Well, boy, swipe gestures. Yeah, Apple is using WebOS right now. Wait, this be real.
You're right.
You're right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Apple is using WebOS right now. That's exactly what Apple is doing. Swipe up, right? Remember WebOS? You tap onto it, you get your recent apps and swipe over. Yeah, that's all WebOS. Apple is doing it.
Wow. No more said.
That's it.
Everybody's off the
We
word.
found WebOS.
WebOS. And you know what's funny? They were talking about WebOS in the Palm Pre, and they were like, didn't the Palm Pre have wireless charging before? This is nothing new, Apple, with your wireless charging thing. It's been like
Apple Juice. That's what it's called. Apple Juice.
It's like, come on, guys.
Beetlejuice. It's called Beetlejuice.
But they're gonna sell a ton of them. They're gonna sell a ton of those power.
Oh yeah.
What do you call them? Power pack.
Power
chargers. I don't know.
Power pad or something. Power pad. Power iPad. Power pad. You know, it's always got to be pad. iPad. Do you pad? This pad. Maxi pad. You know.
When is the HomePod supposed to come out?
Yeah. Well,
I did a video on that one.
December. The Christmas.
December.
Christmas.
That thing.
Did you guys hear? I know we're jumping around, but Sonos is doing a Google Home version to compete with it, which I'm probably going to get. Sonos.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I struggle with those things, man. My music source is strictly Google Play Music, and nothing seems to really play nice with that. Like I have an Amazon Echo Dot, or if you get Sonos or any of those music streamers. Google Play Music is not part of
Google Home. It's going to do it. I think when that comes out, it's going to compete with Apple because it's going to be probably one of the first speakers to offer high def quality sound. I mean, I have a Google Home and a couple Dots, and the music quality is not the best. But I get what you're saying.
Can
you really expect out of a speaker that size?
Right. I mean, that's true, though. But I mean, you know what? I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, maybe
the Bose speakers, those there.
Ooh, yeah. Bose speakers, yeah.
Okay, fine.
They sound pretty good.
I'm tired of y'all, man.
I mean,
I don't know, man. Okay. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that whole HomePod thing. I thought it was a silly thing for them to try to compete in a market that's already dominated by Sonos and Bose and everybody else.
Here's the thing with this HomePod, and I don't know if you remember WWDC where they kind of started talking about it. They didn't really talk too much about Siri because they know Siri sucks. So they focused in on the audio quality of this speaker and just less on Siri. Siri is just they're just so far behind from Cortana, from Google Now, Google Assistant. What else is I don't know what else is out there. I'm Alexa.
So all of them out there.
They're all better. They're all better than Siri. Siri is just she's growing up a lot. She's gotten a lot smarter, but
yeah, she's a teenager now.
Yeah. But she still needs, she's I don't know, she's still a freshman. She's still maybe in high school. But
She haven't went to the prime yet.
Oh man,
the HomePod is it's going to be focused on sound quality and less on the assistant because it can't touch a Google Assistant. It just can't touch it. It's Google's in another league.
Nothing can.
Yeah, it's just,
that's why I get mad at Samsung for certain things such as Bixby. There's other things I get mad at Samsung for trying to recreate when it's already awesome.
They did. What did they do before Bixby? It was what was that called?
S Voice. I'm upset that S Voice is on my. I'm wearing the Gear S3, man, and S Voice is trash on that. And every once in a while, it kicks in, and I'm like, stop it! I don't want to talk to you. And I want Google Assistants on here so bad. Yeah, Bixby and S Voice. I've never tried Bixby. How's it work?
They're like, Chucky, want to play?
I hate it. They everything should have Google Assistant on it. Just stop. Put your resources in something else.
So here's the thing: Samsung, I truly believe they want to part ways with Google.
Oh yeah, that's obvious. They've been trying to do that since they created the Tizen.
But
those stuff.
That's they need. I don't know. I don't think
you're talking about innovation. That's your innovation right there. Get Tizen going. Get foldable displays. Yeah. Get 4K displays. I mean that right there is your innovation. They got room to do a lot of innovation, guys, and I think that's one of the things
really hard though.
But I don't think the consumer market will actually accept another OS. I think
if you look like Google,
no, because you think about it. But if you think about it, it's all about the apps. You got your banking apps. It's all about the apps.
All about the apps.
Yes, Samsung will never. No, it's too late to start another OS. There's too many apps out there. And
if you don't have NFL Mobile, if it's no NFL Mobile, I don't want it. There's always, there's those apps that people gotta have. If you don't have Google Maps, I'm not going to buy it. So, whatever the apps are that you use or whoever uses, if it's not on there,
you're done.
You're dead. You're dead on arrival. And I think that's what BlackBerry figured out. Said, wait a minute, let's just team up with Google, and we'll keep our software on there. And if you can't beat them, you got to join them. And
Samsung drops Google and goes to Tizen. They're gonna end up like Windows Phone.
Grand opening, grand closing.
It's gonna be a Nokia.
What's the beef between Google and Samsung? I don't know. Why are they trying to?
Because actually, we've been hearing rumored that Google is trying to force OEM to use stock Android, and I believe they want them to only put like a launcher that could be deleted. I think so. Sort
of like what they did with Android watch. What is the operating system for their watch?
What Android watch is Android Wear.
Android Wear, yeah. You can't customize their operating system. You have to
use stock.
You can't. You got to use stock. Because they don't want the fragmentation.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't want and I mean, it's a nightmare though. If you're a developer, you got to develop for this, you got to develop for that. On Android, Apple is pretty straightforward for the most part. It's most people are going to be on iOS 11, but with Android, you got people on, I don't know, Donut and whatever. I don't know, whatever they got out, ice cream
sandwich, man.
I don't know. Donut, ice cream sandwich, and Froyo. Remember Froyo?
Froyo
ice cream sandwich. Oh my goodness! Oh, Google come up with those names, don't they?
Oreo now, I think we're Oreo, nougat.
Yeah. They got Oreo and pistachio.
So P's next. What is that going to be? Pistachio.
Pistachio. I don't know. Pecan. Maybe pecan. They like to stay with the fruit, right? You got Oreo and pecan, right? So pistachio. Then after that, what happened when Google ran out of letters? I mean, we all
recycle them like hurricanes. Just recycle.
Recycle them.
Yeah,
pretty much. Go back to 8.
But fragmentation. it's real with Android, and you know they I think that because sometimes these updates they come out so late. Like you were talking about how Samsung with they stopped supporting phones. Just like what, we're not going to update this phone anymore. At least with Nexus or a Pixel, you'll get those updates for at least 3 to 4 years. You'll see updates for those devices. So as much as you don't like, as much as you're a TouchWiz fan, that's one of the benefits of having pure Android, and it kind of refreshes your device. But on another note, I feel like updating your device is kind of like you said earlier, is you're dooming your device. It's just like, all right, well, I'm about to update my phone, and then I'll be buying another one in 3 months because it's going to run slower, or it's going to not function the way it should function, because
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons is that and this is what I do, believe it or not. When you do a major OS update, you got the factory reset your phone. Mm-hmm. You got to start from scratch. No apps, no nothing.
Yeah, I believe that.
That's the problem. That's the problem, because you still got certain parts of the old image that's still on the device. There's still some of that stuff running in the background. And they got big conflicts going on. Yeah. And so believe it or not, I tell people all the time, when you go into from Android 6 to Android 7, do a factory reset, kill all the apps, get rid of that crap anyway, right? Like, you got all the apps on there you never use, and just go on and re-download all your apps. It will run good. I do that. That's what I do when I go from Android 6 to Android 7. I just do a factory reset.
I still think they're getting us, man. I still think that when you do an OS overhaul, I don't think it's built to really run on that old phone. I think they put little things in there that slow your phone down and make it run all raggedy. So you have to go get the new one because your old one sucks now.
Shout out to Kevin. He says Samsung keyboard is pure foolishness.
I used to like it, man. I used to like it. Now I use a Gboard.
The second I got my Samsung, I'm going with the Google keyboard. That's it.
Gboard for the win. Gboard.
I am not using that keyboard if my life depended on it. It's
on my Note 4, the keyboard was nice. Yeah, it was real nice. Yeah. And I want to say the same thing about the Note 7. But once I got this S7, I went straight to Gboard, and I can't go back.
Gboard, and then I'll do the launcher. I'll do the Google launcher.
You like that?
Yeah.
It makes it faster. Really? But you know what? All my Samsung Galaxy Note and all my S8, I don't use no launchers. I liked it. I like Samsung experience. Yeah, I really do. I like Samsung experience. It runs good.
I like how
I'm a pure Android. I'm a pure Android guy. I'm sorry. It has to be pure Android.
All right, guys. So, man, how time flies. We are almost at the top of the hour. Yeah, we're on the top of the hour. We got to get on out of here. Oh my goodness, man! I love this type of stuff. Look, we could talk tech all night long. I know this, but the show must come to an end. Another episode of Wednesday Night Tech Talk. All right, before we get out of here, guys, let y'all guys say y'all YouTube channels, how they can find you on social media, everything in between the sun. Let everybody know here, and I'm also going to take y'all guys' channel that I'm gonna put in the description down below, so everybody can reach you guys. I'm telling y'all guys are awesome. See. We need to be the big YouTuber with the millions of subscribers, because we keeping it real at night. We know exactly what's going on in the industry. We study our craft. We know exactly what's going on, and that's why I like doing this. All right, go ahead and take it on, Antoine.
Well, I just typed mine in, so if y'all looking at the comment section, it's just Doin Life. Doin, DOIN apostrophe life. I'll see y'all at the next one after you smash on that subscribe button.
All right, Dave. It's all over you.
And again, guys, I'm QC Dads. I'll leave a comment in terms of where you guys can reach me. Right now, I'm working on some smart home stuff, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, QC Dads. I'll leave my link below. What happened?
I'm laughing at Tony Healy's comment, man. You don't have to go there with me, man. Why are you being so mean? Y'all see what he said? He said, "I'll go grab some apps from Microsoft."
Hey man, they like to have fun, man.
Ooh, my subscribers. I'm sorry to interrupt, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's QC Dads. Yeah, look out for my next video. It should be out in the next couple of days. For what am I doing? Dyson. I got a Dyson fan I'm doing a review on. It's pretty cool. So stay tuned for that. But I really appreciate all you guys' comments, and hopefully we can do this again in the near future, Eric.
Yep, no problem. Hey guys, before I leave, let me give y'all guys what's going on. I usually post videos almost every day. I actually had 2 promo videos that I was supposed to post yesterday and today. I am going through a debacle with YouTube right now. YouTube has some issues with uploading right now. So those videos did not come out. I actually post those videos on my other YouTube channel. For some strange reason, I'm going through this YouTube stuff, guys. It's coming to YouTube that I get demonetized, and a tech channel. Yeah, I get demonetized, and I got to fight YouTube every day. I got to send emails to YouTube. Right now, I can't upload no videos. I got a response from YouTube saying that the engineers are working on it, that it's a glitch in the system, and I cannot upload videos. I actually got scared. I deleted the whole keynote address that I did yesterday because I've been flagged 4 times by Apple. So when I always do live streams about keynote addresses. Everybody else don't flag me but Apple. So when I did the keynote address yesterday, it was fun. I didn't show hardly anything. And we talked about it. We had a discussion. And then when I tried to upload some videos, I got some errors, and I panicked. So I immediately deleted the Apple video. So so that's what happened to the Apple keynote address, guys. And look, I was getting a lot of views on it too. I was like 2,000. I'm like, all right, cool. But nah, I deleted it. So but right now I can't upload those videos. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but right now I am on standby, and because I got like 2 videos to upload, but I can't do anything until YouTube fix my YouTube channel. I can do live streams, but I can't upload those videos. Crazy, ain't it? But this is the YouTube debacle that's going on. It's been affecting me a lot, by the way. So I just want to let y'all guys know that I do have some promotional videos. It's all promos. Y'all might want to see that anyway. Headphones and stuff like that. So, but I just dropped some promotional videos, and hopefully by tomorrow I can have my channel back from YouTube, and I can upload some content. It's crazy, but that's how it is. All right, guys, I really appreciate y'all guys coming through. This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. Don't forget about this Saturday night, guys, where I have my live stream every Saturday night. This is how I do it every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Y'all guys know I try to bring in guests Wednesdays and Saturdays. So hopefully you might be surprised. You might see these guys back on. You might see some new guests on. Hopefully, I can get everybody on. That's what I try to do right here on Easy Computer Solutions. Thank y'all guys very much. See y'all guys.
I appreciate y'all having me. This has been great.
Yes.
All right, you guys take it easy.
All right, see y'all guys Saturday. Peace.